Before the world starts spinning fast, I pause and take my stand. Coffee in hand, I lace up truth with heaven's battle plan. No fear, no doubt, I suit up strong as armor fits just right. I'm walking tall, I'm prayed up now, I'm ready for the fight. Wrap me in truth, no lies allowed. I walk this road with my head unbowed. No fake disguise, no twisted word, just gospel truth, pure and undisturbed. Oh God, my morning song is mine, I move along. Shield of faith, there's one in hand. In His armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet. Victory is mine, I won't retreat. Guard my heart, Lord, keep it clean. Your righteousness, my daily sheen. No shame, no guilt, no hidden stain. I wear your grace like a holy chain. Armor of God, my morning song. It is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand. In His armor I firmly stand. Truth on the ways, peace on my feet. Victory is mine, I won't retreat. Bruce lace tight with peace I bring. Good news echoes when I sing. I step with calm through storm and flame. Each stride I take, I lift your name. Armor of God, my morning song. It is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand. In His armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet. Victory's mine, I won't retreat. Mind renewed, no fear inside. Salvation's crown, my holy guide. Thoughts aligned with heaven's view. I see the world through what is true. Armor of God, my morning song. It is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand. In His armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet. Victory's mine, I won't retreat. Word in hand, I speak with fire. Sharper than steel, it lifts me high. No weapon formed can take me down. I fight with faith, I wear the crown. Armor of God, my morning song. It is mine, I move along. Shield of faith and sword in hand. In His armor I firmly stand. Truth on my ways, peace on my feet. Victory's mine, I won't retreat. So here I stand, the day begun, armored up till setting sun. With every breath I walk His way, in truth and love I face the day.
Good Monday morning. All right, give me just one moment here. I am trying to log in on here for the. I clicked on the wrong account. So give me just a moment. There we go. So how's everybody doing this beautiful cold Monday morning? It is 25 degrees here in Southeast Florida today. That's minus 3 degrees Celsius. Did you know that? I'm surprised that this didn't save this from the last time. I'm just getting logged into chat here. There we go. You hear all that noise? That means we're logged in. All right. Hey, sorry for the hold up here right away this morning, but it's Monday. And I am kind of feeling a little under the weather. A little stuffy. My fiance is kind of yelling at me this morning because she doesn't think that I dress warm enough. I'll wear a hoodie, but I'm wearing shorts. Can't get the Wisconsin out of the Texan today, right? Anyway, few things to talk about this morning, and maybe we can squeeze a few other things in too. I don't know. I'm trying to think if. Yeah, I think it's good. So basically, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I am only streaming to YouTube and to Rumble. So I didn't. The reason is because when I stream the Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this account, it automatically gets uploaded to BitChute, and if I do a live stream there, then we get a duplicate. So we have the live stream and then a copy gets copied over. It's kind of weird. But anyway, who's all here so far this morning? I see we have one person over on the YouTube channel. Give me a big hello. Say hi. I like how it puts my name up there for this channel as Chillax Now. Funny. I haven't even hardly gotten any coffee in me yet this morning. Had a weird night. Just feeling stuffy and icky, and so, all right. Let me just get to, how do I want to do this? Okay, let's start out with Florida. Now, this isn't the only person that has come out on TikTok, and I'm talking, these are the far left. I swear, these people are in positions of, if you want to call it that, authority, and your life is in their hands, okay? And these people are absolutely crazy. They are crazy. And I'm going to make light of this a little bit, because there was a guy on, I think it was just a repost on X from TikTok. There's this person of color with a really cool white Santa beard. I think he might be ex-law enforcement, retired, I'm not sure, but he put a post up and he goes, "That's it, I'm done with MAGA. Trump just signed an executive order giving free housing to the far left liberals." And then he moves his head out of the way, and the thing in the back was that Trump signed an executive order to open insane asylums again. But that being said, we've got people out here like this one Florida nurse who's now says they're going to refuse anesthesia to any Trump supporters. So what are you going to do? You're going to ask them what political party they belong to, Eric Martindale? So, appearing in scrubs at what looks like a Florida clinic, he posted, "I will not perform anesthesia for any surgeries or procedures for MAGA. It is my right. It is my ethical oath. Nursing ethics from the American Nurses Association demanded care without discrimination based on politics. And Florida law allows discipline for lacking good moral character." Users, including Rob Schneider, urged the Florida Board of Nursing and Governor Ron DeSantis to investigate, and there's been no public response yet as of now. This happened for a while, January 26th. So, okay, many of you know that I was in the medical field. I was a nationally certified CMA, through the AMA, American Medical Association, which is corrupt. And anyway, part of what they teach you is you still take a Hippocratic oath if you're in the medical field, okay? And you're not supposed to do any harm, okay? Even our medics in the military would give aid to the enemy if they were still alive after a battle, unless they were really bad highness, really bad sleaze bags, and they would just let them, what do they call that? Give them an easy way out. But even our military, our medics, they're going to go in there and they're going to give aid to the enemy. Okay. So this tells me even more that these people that are out there saying things like this and threatening to do things like this, they're possessed. They have to be, because no human being, I don't care how angry you are at somebody, you don't use your job and your position as a medical professional to refuse any kind of medical help to anybody, no matter what race, religion, creed, anything. Okay? Well, creed and religion are the same, right? I don't know. But it doesn't matter, okay? They take an oath. So, some of our good patriots out there, they're posting this up. And they're putting this guy's picture as best they can. Here's this Eric Martindale on his, I believe this is TikTok. Or it could be X too. You might have to find out where this guy, he might be on X. But they've already forwarded this to the Florida Nursing Board. I ran into something like this a couple of months ago, and I purposely forwarded it over to the Florida Nursing Board on my own, and I did get a response back saying that they had a number of reports on this person. So I'm sure already that like I said, I just got on here this morning. I haven't had a chance to do anything, so I haven't been able to report this person yet, but it looks like quite a few people have already done it. The one post right here has got 6,300 responses to it already, so I'm sure there's quite a few. They're talking about how medical associations need to come down so hard on this, because they said that if they don't, the fallout will be able to be seen from space. That's how bad this is going to be. So Juanita Broderick, she posted, if any of his past patients were MAGA and suffered complications during surgery, this might be the reason. This guy would be opening himself up to a lot of lawsuits. Probably right now he might have lawsuits, but I would guarantee you the American Medical Association, because that's where I'm sure that this person's got his licensing through, and through the through a couple of different things with nursing. He'll have his nursing license to practice in Florida revoked. And 0 Hour 1, good on him. He said this guy's going to have his nursing license to practice in Florida revoked by noon tomorrow. And then he says, great news, Minnesota needs a nurse. So, yeah, this Eric Martindale, Let me see if I can. I'll see if I can pull a picture up here for y'all, so y'all know who I'm talking about. Give me a moment. There you go. He's wearing a face diaper, so you can't really see him too well. But that's who we're talking about. Yeah, Molly, that's what I need to, that's what she told me too, that I'm not dressing warm enough when I go out. I'll be breaking out the long pants today. Yeah, I promise. Alright, let's see. Enough on the sleazebag Eric Martindale. There's enough of him already. So, let's go ahead and go to my second favorite place in the world. And I say that with my tongue deep in my cheek. Because I have some of my favorite people that are from there, but right now the place is not in my top 10 list. So, Italian Prime Minister Matteo Salvini has called on President Vladimir Zelensky to sign a peace agreement immediately, pointing to Ukraine's losses in men, credibility, and dignity even after massive aid. Now there's gonna be more to this because Volodymyr Zelensky is losing a lot of support from the European leaders. Okay? Especially after his remarks at Davos. So, the remarks responded to Zelensky's recent Davos speech criticizing European leaders for weak unity against Russia. It was a little bit more than that. He called them out, saying that they weren't doing everything that they could, that they were weak. He went on a rampage. And I noticed this about Zelensky. Every time there's going to be peace talks coming up, he either gets out there and lets the sewage just flow from his mouth because he doesn't know when to shut up, or Ukraine starts lobbing more drones and stuff at Russia, at their not at the military, at all of their power and their oil refineries and stuff. I mean, one time they did on a military installation, they took out like 40 of their bombers with drones. So I'm seeing through the facade that the Ukrainian leader, the President Zelensky, does not want peace, because once the peace has been achieved, he's done. He's through. He will no longer exist on this earthly plane of existence because he has a lot of his own people that want to string him up. Okay? So, Salvini, from a right-wing League party, has long pushed for diplomacy over endless arms shipments, amid Italy's coalition approving aid through 2026 despite internal tensions. That's some stuff with like Maloney. They don't want to be involved in the war. They don't want to. I have a feeling that Italy is gonna. Well, either Italy or Hungary. It's going to be a race for which one of them can get out of the EU first. Anyway, so it says online reactions split sharply, with supporters praising the realism and critics labeling him pro-Russian. So anybody out there that says anything against Ukraine are pro-Russian. But I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm pro-Ukrainian people, the innocent people that are suffering. They don't have electricity, but maybe 1 to 2 hours every 24 hours lately if they're lucky. It's in the middle of winter, freezing cold temperatures, and a lot of these people If the electricity's out, that means they don't have any heat. And even the people that do have wood heat, their water's freezing up because they don't have electricity to run a heater to keep their pipes thawed. So Zelensky's got to go because all he's doing is stealing money. Him and the upper echelon of the EU. I did last Saturday. I think it was a pretty good show. I already have some people that disagree with me, but if they read between the lines, they would get my gist. But Saturday's Supernatural Crossfire was pretty good, and I did some pretty good research on it. But anyway, back to here. So another one of my favorite outspoken people from Ukraine, who is also being labeled a Russian sympathizer, is Diana Panchenko. And Diana's actually a good person. She's a good mom. She responded here to the Prime Minister. You're absolutely right. Zelensky holds our people hostage, closed borders, banned the church, and free speech. So she's even talking about how Christians are being... They were genocided in the beginning, but now that the world is watching, they're not doing it, but they're forcing people to, these people were born and raised speaking Russian, even though they lived in Ukraine on the border, the Donetsk region. Sorry about the pronunciation, but I have kind of a sore throat too. But these people are Russian speaking, but they're Ukrainian patriots. But they had some atrocities against them, and they still are. They're being told that they are forced to speak Ukrainian only. They can't speak Sergic or Russian. Okay? And the Ukrainian people don't want war, but they're basically captive to corrupt officials. And what's it called? NABU? They're like an investigation agency. They're getting some corrupt people, but they're not getting all of the right corrupt people. Maybe they'll get close. Maybe they will do it because they've already nabbed Zelensky's number one. They took him down, and they got some more that they caught trying to take trunk loads of money and move it around. Excuse me. I apologize. So then Diana goes on to say that Zelensky is insulting the Europeans and he's demanding more money and weapons. She said he's gone mad. Why does everyone take this criminal's opinion into account? A lot of us have seen through Zelensky from the very beginning, and that's why I don't ever question President Trump, because he's a lot smarter and more astute than I am, and he's met the man face to face, so I know he knows what Zelensky's all about. All right, so let's see here. So this is a quote, again from Matteo Salvini, and he says Zelensky is losing the war and he needs to sign a peace agreement as soon as possible. Now, I'm subscribed to a lot, I'm not going to use the word a lot, to at least half a dozen Ukrainian update channels for the war. These are warning channels for when there's incoming aircraft, missiles, whatever, any incoming attacks. And then there's news. They update everybody on the news and what's going on. And I'm telling you right now, folks, whoever is in charge of Ukraine's news agencies are just as bad, if not worse, than MSNBC and CNN, because they'll put they'll take one of President Trump's tweets that he put out, and it's got word for word what he said. But at the same time, down below, they totally misquote what he said. So I don't know if it's the translator or they know that a lot of the Ukrainians don't read or speak English that well, so they'll put a BS quote in there. So anyway, he goes on to say, we've heard Zelensky, who after all the money, after all the efforts, after all the help, still has the audacity to complain. And he says, my friend, you're losing the war, you're losing people, you're losing trust and dignity. Sign a peace agreement as soon as possible. Sign a peace agreement as soon as possible. He said it twice. You need to choose between defeat and annihilation. And I can guarantee you that Russia's just been kind of toying, and it could be a lot worse than what it actually is. So let me just switch back over here so I can see my chat. All right. So what do we say here? Wind chill here yesterday was 1 degree. Yeah, we're the coldest we've gotten here is 25. So far. And according to my forecast here, it's going to start warming back up today, and tomorrow should be back into the mid 40s. And by the end of the week, we should be starting to hit 60, mid 60s down here. And then early next week, we should be back in the 70s again. Hopefully that'll last. From what I understand, there's like a second surge of this polar vortex. There's coming from the west, and then what's coming down from Canada is going to push this back down south again. We'll see. We shall see. So, I don't know. Not a whole lot of comments on the Ukraine thing. I guess a lot of people don't follow it as closely as I do. But that's okay. Because I mean, you're not going to find out anything more than what you already know about it being a big money laundry. Basically, right now, Ukraine is a puppet state. They're under the control of basically the warmongers. So I know George Soros has got his fingers in there, but mainly it's some of the EU and like von der Leyen from Brussels, Germany. Spain is kind of a quiet little partner. They're sneaky. Spain is sneaky. And then you've got, who else over there? Finland, France. Oh my goodness, France. France just needs to be put over a knee and get their ass spanked. Because the Macrons they're cronies, man. They got to go. I know that their opposition, she seems pretty good, so hopefully that'll turn around over there. All right, a couple more things. Let's see. All right, so I don't know if you all heard about this or not, but we have a new SignalGate. Apparently, this is so funny. So Nick Sorter, Cam Higbee, and what's his name now? The one that broke all the Minnesota corruption. Nick. I'll think of his last name when I'm not thinking of it. But anyway, all of these guys are all alternative news journalists, if you will, and they're uncovering a lot of corruption. Now, I want to also give a shout out to Zero Hour, who is on X. I don't know the name. I know that they put a lot of good stuff out, and they do some hella research, and they have ways of finding people that would surprise a lot of people. So, anyway. So, self-described journalist, and I don't know who put the story out, but when they say self-described journalist, this is usually coming from a left-wing place. Okay? Anyway, Cam Higbee shared screenshots from a January 2026 chats in Signal where members coordinated rapid responses to ICE vehicles, sharing license plates and mobilizing spotters. One naming Flan Southside as an admin. Sparking unverified speculation, it's Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Well, we found out that it is, for sure, Peggy Flanagan. See, this is how the left likes to, like, say, oh no, let's deflect this. This isn't right. Yeah, we have people that know what the hell they're doing, okay? So yes, Peggy Flanagan is one of the organizers and anti-ICE people who is sharing vehicle license plates and mobilizing spotters and protesters. But these aren't protesters, guys. They're paid, and they're basically an army. Okay? So, anyway, I'm going to read the rest of this article, but then we're going to get into some of the actual true stuff about this. So the claims emerged amid heightened ICE deportations under Trump, including deadly shootings of U.S. citizens Alex Pretty and Renee Good. Okay, both of which deserved to die the way that they did, because Renee used her vehicle as a deadly weapon, and Alex, you dumbass, I don't care if you were a concealed carrier person or not, you didn't have an ID or anything on you, and you carried a gun and tried to pull it on federal agents. Okay? Dumbass. They're both dumbasses. They're dumb and they died. And that is what the left does. They are very good at programming these people. All right, so coming out from the Data Republican, this is like more proof, okay? So SignalGate donors list available for download, politicians plus foreign leadership confirmed. In one of the files revealed by Cam Higbee, a resources file directs people with money to a website, Stand With Minnesota, which in turn directs donors to a campaign ran by Trending the Soil on Chuffed. Now, I don't know what Chuffed is, but more about Trending the Soil later. What to know, the campaign is hosted by Chuffed, and the first donation came from Johnny Saptiuk, a Canada-based community organizer who is part of Chuffed leadership and specializes in fundraising. He is most likely a central figure in raising money. All right, so this here is like number one proof that there are foreigners involved in trying to make an insurrection in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay? Foreigners. They're from Canada. Yeah, they're our kissing cousins, but they're still not Americans yet. Okay, so he goes on to say, that's not all. I put together a spreadsheet of 4,000 plus donors and their possible identities. Okay, so if you aren't subscribed on X to Data Republican, I'm going to bring the screen up here so you can see who they are. I might have to zoom that in a little bit so you guys can read it better. It's kind of small. Let me just zoom it in a little bit. So here we go. Data Republican, small r. Okay, so that way you can add them. So yes, paid terrorists, and that's what they are. They're paid. They're paid. They're paid insurrectionists, whatever you want to call them. But now we have one little bit of proof of foreign interference with this. And I just showed you previously that Ms. Flanagan, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, is also involved. And we're gonna find out that there's kind of some straight links right to the mayor and to the governor. See that? All right. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm not really a big football person anymore, but anyway. All right, where are we at here? Come back here, and we will continue. All right, so they've got some lists, and they're saying right now, donors, don't bother deleting social media profiles. I've already cached and screenshotted them all. All right, and then here we got Peggy Flanagan has been caught in the anti-ICE signals chat, coordinating insurrection to protect the deportation of criminal illegals. Here she is trashing the Laken-Riley Act. Here, I want to let you guys listen to this. It's only a little over a minute long. All right, so there's old Peggy Flanagan. Is Peggy a female? Just saying. Anyway, here's Peggy.
Back at the beginning of this second Trump administration, the very first vote that was taken under this Trump administration was for the Laken-Riley Act, which strips immigrants of due process. There were a handful of Democrats who voted in favor of that bill. My opponent, Angie Craig, was one of them. She also voted for a resolution this summer that praised ICE. Shame. And so we get to tell the truth in this race. We get to tell the truth.
Yeah. She couldn't tell the truth if her life depended on it. Anyway, so well, we have some proof here that they're directly involved. And then 0 Hour just posted that Peggy Flanagan just deleted her Facebook page. But now they're saying that somebody put a reader's added context or something here, like a community thing, and it says that they're still up. So let's take a look and see if she opened them back up after she cleaned them out. So let's see. Her last post was January 24th. What happened to the ones that she was just posting recently? There are no posts after the 24th on Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan's government Facebook page. So let's see about her personal page. All right, she's got something from 17 hours ago. And after that, January 24th. So this is funny. All right, she's out there putting a sob story about this Alex Pretty, the registered nurse that became an idiot and got himself Swiss cheesed by federal officers. But yeah, it's funny. She did put a post out on the 24th, but it's like the post after. There was one from yesterday, from 17 hours ago, which would have made it the 25th. But other than that, all the other posts that they had up after that are gone. So it looks like she cleared out some stuff. All right, so some more. Let's see some more on SignalGate. Okay, so we know the lieutenant governor is involved. And then I'm just reading some of these. Yeah. So they after this came out, they posted, "Signal is not secure. I worked in communications. Once they figured out where we were, it's only a matter of time. Flan has been exposed, raw effed. I need to leave this state." And people saying, "Should I leave too? Should I get out? Should we?" And then all of a sudden, there were people dropping like flies out of the Signal account. Okay, but too late, because they already have it. They have everything. So Cam Higbee and all of them, 0 Hour, they all grabbed all the screenshots, and they have it on the go back machine. So it's already set up there as a way to go back. All right, I'm just looking to see if there was anything new that came out since then. I know. See, I think she's actually a trans. It's a trans. Looks too much like a soy boy. All right. So anyway, now they're saying SignalGate is and should topple the entire Democrat Party in Minnesota. Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan has been implicated. The global press is beginning to pick up the story. The interesting thing is now they're also connecting Tim Walz. Well, they already knew Tim was in on it, just because of what he's doing out in public. And I'm just looking to see, yeah. They were screaming, "Signal's not secure. I worked in communications. Once they figured out where we were, it's only a matter of time." So, yeah, they were all getting out. And then there's this Johnny Sapotweek, or whatever, I can't pronounce his name. He's the Canadian community organizer. So, Minnesota AG. Let's see, the lieutenant governor. Yeah, there's quite a bit, and they got lots of proof. And I'm not sure what it is, but I keep hearing some kind of sound coming through my computer. Are you guys hearing any other sound or talking besides me? Yeah, I haven't said anything. Take a quick break here. Please give a thumbs up, share. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Today we're on YouTube and Rumble. Nope, they wouldn't, Molly. They wouldn't know the truth if it bit them in the butt. You know, it's interesting. So we've had ICE pretty active here in Texas. They've been pretty active lately too in like Los Angeles, San Diego. But we haven't had the weird, creepy protest stuff going on that we're seeing in Minnesota right now. I haven't heard of any new stuff with Chicago. If there was, I'm sure somebody would have it in the news, but maybe there is, and they think that Minneapolis, Minnesota is more important. But the other thing, and let me look here. I think I bookmarked it, but I did want to bring this up. There was some more stuff that came up with the fraud in California. All right, so I'm just going through all the cold stuff. Zeke. Oh, this Shri Thanadar dude. I don't think he's even real. I think that's somebody wearing a mask. The guy is just totally creepy. Alright, this is all on the weather. I gotta go back a little bit here. Yeah, I didn't report on it, but we had a complete withdrawal from the World Health Organization. And a lot of the UN committees that they had, we opted out of all of those too. So I think we're just in the UN as just kind of a placeholder right now. I think this new thing for the Middle East that got put together, this Board of Peace, I think that's going to end up replacing the UN at some point. Alright, so I went through these. Hey, any of you that aren't following Timber Chet, he's representative from Tennessee. This guy, he's definitely a good guy. Definitely a good guy. Timber Chet. Where are we at here? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for a specific post. I'm sure that I thought maybe that's in bookmarks. Let me look in my profile and see if I might have to. I might have just. Yeah, I've got a few other things. I'm actually gonna share my screen with you guys because I'm gonna be very transparent about things that I'm doing on X. So here we go. This is this Dave Bohorquez or whatever. We've already went after this guy. He's been posting, and this is on X. These guys are stupid. And posting this on X that he wants to kill every ICE agent and Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino, yada yada. So they're posting that out there that they think they can get away with it. Okay, so this brought up about the Signal chats again. I think I had a little bit more information here on the Signal chats. But they said right now, Alexis even said this isn't a protest, it's an operation. Anti-ICE activists in Minnesota rapidly track, dox, and harass anyone they believe is tied to ICE. They take pictures of your license plate, upload their database, they follow you, harass you, and try to stop active investigations. Who's organizing this? Well, we found one of them, the Canadian dude, but we're also finding out that Act Blue is big time involved in this. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, it says if this is true and the Signal chat can be tied to the Pretty shooting, LG Flanagan's in serious trouble because somebody died, okay? And they would be part of that conspiracy. And if someone dies as part of that conspiracy, even if the deceased is a co-conspirator, all participants in the conspiracy can be charged with murder. And that's the truth. Alright, so this freaking weirdo, there'll be some more stuff on him. So he's supposed to be the big bad Minneapolis Antifa general, Kyle Wagner. He made a video calling for people to arm up against law enforcement. So here's the real Kyle over here, the soy boy in the red dress. But this one over here to the left, that's the video that he made trying to be a tough guy and tell everybody to arm up and go out and fight ICE. This here was a response that I made about Ilhan Omar, that if they knocked her hijab off, that this is probably very similar to what she would look like. I know, I'm not a very nice guy sometimes, but when people steal $1 billion, over $1 billion from us. Alright, so here we go. So to clarify, this caring, non-violent man who was a nurse got up in the morning, strapped on an $1,800 6-hour P320 AXG Combat, a high-capacity 9mm pistol with a threaded barrel, extended 20-round magazine, and a SIG Romeo optic, and took an extra magazine in case 20 shots weren't enough. Okay? Went out to deliberately confront the police, got in their faces, pushed an officer, which is a crime. He also, if you watch the video, it looked like he also assaulted one of the other females that was there that was not an officer. I don't know if he just mistook her because he had already had pepper spray in his eyes. I'm not sure, but that's another assault. He resisted arrest, pulled a gun on, and got shot for his trouble. Okay? So in just 8 hours, the media has gushed more coverage over the ICU nurse than its total combined coverage in the past 5 years of all the women raped by illegals, all the Americans murdered by illegals, and all the American families destroyed by violence from illegals. The media isn't news, it's propaganda. 100% truth. And it is. I mean, the mainstream media doesn't talk, and I'm going to show you. It's coming. Okay, so here we go. They're like, do you not see it yet? This is a criminal enterprise. Look at all the money that these scumbags are stealing from the American people. How do you get away with billions of dollars and nobody sees it until a brand new semi-green citizen journalist uncovers something that turns into be huge? Did you figure out the sick joke yet? Alright, here's another one. Minnesota State Senate candidate Anita Smithson. She's the one that works. Let's see here. Was she she was passing information onto the anti-ICE groups in Signal. She's another one. So she's a state Senate candidate. And I found another one. Okay, so there's Anita, another traitor who should go to jail for the rest of her life. Alright. First Minnesota, now we're moving into exposed California. Here's the one I was looking for. So this guy right here stole $23 million from the homeless to buy a mansion. So this guy is the executive director of the charity called Abundant Blessings. His job was to feed and house the homeless in Los Angeles. Instead, he stole $10 million of taxpayer money to fund his own lavish lifestyle. Okay, so here's a shopping list, people. A $7 million mansion in Westwood, $475,000 vacation home in Greece. That's where he wants to run to because there's supposedly no extradition, right? $125,000 Range Rover, private school tuition for his kids, private jets and luxury resort stays. So this is the guy. And this is in California. So this guy right here, I think he's the catalyst for everything else that's going to happen in California. And if you think Minnesota was big, just wait until you see California. Let me just pop over here. All right, yeah, Scott Bessent hit them hard, and yeah, he did good. Scott's a good guy, and from what I understand, Newsom was told that he shouldn't even show up. He was supposed to be. He was. What did they say? He was forbidden or banned from going. I don't know who told him that he shouldn't go, but he did anyway. All right. All right, so let me get going down here. So 0 Hour, if you're not following him on X, follow. Okay, it goes all the way to the top. Well done. Also has many of out-of-staters. It's a conspiracy to commit crimes on the government. Basically, you stumbled into organized crime that travels across state lines, and now we're finding that it also goes across sovereign borders. We know right now through Signal that one foreign person, the Canadian, which I can't pronounce the guy's name, okay, so we got the Canadian dude, and then we know that we've got, well, George Soros kind of handed the ropes over to his kid, so I think Alex is running the whole Soros show right now, but we also have a very wealthy individual out of China that is also involved in this. Well, he was on some of the previous stuff. I forget his name, but I have a feeling that our China guy is going to come back up again. And then Canada's Prime Minister sold the country out. If there's any Canadians that are watching me, I'm sure you'll agree, unless you're from the east side and you drink that liberal Kool-Aid over there. And if that's the case, don't even respond. I don't even have time for you. All right. So then, I believe this, yeah, Cam Higbee got the whole training manual that they're using to harass ICE and border agents in Minneapolis. So they got a Proton Drive cloud storage. And I think I don't know if it's an actual link. Let me click that. So here it is in video, but I don't know if he actually provided the whole, I don't think he provided the whole link to the actual document. So Cam Higbee. All right. Now, and I apologize for the outside noise because they are putting new culverts in for me. Alright, so, yeah, I kind of thought that was fake. Alright, so that is what I got there. Let's peek over here. Yeah, so this was interesting. I'm going to read it. I'll read it for you. But this guy goes into kind of detail, and he replied to Cam Higbee. His name is Eric Schwalm. He says, as a former Special Forces warrant officer with multiple rotations running counterinsurgency ops, both hunting insurgents and trying to separate them from sympathetic populations, I've seen organized resistance up close. From Anbar to Helmand, the pattern is familiar. Spotters, cutouts, dead drops, or modern equivalents, disciplined comms, role specialization, and willingness to absorb casualties while bleeding the stronger force slowly. What's unfolding in Minneapolis right now isn't protest. It's low-level insurgency infrastructure built by people who've clearly studied the playbook. Signal groups at 1,000 member cap per zone, dedicated roles, mobile chasers, plate checkers, logging vehicle data into shared databases, 24/7 dispatch nodes, vectoring assets, salute style reporting, and that means size, activity, location, unit, time, and equipment on suspected federal vehicles. Daily chat rotations and time deletions to frustrate forensic recovery. Vetting processes for new joiners, mutual aid from sympathetic locals, teachers providing cover, possible police department tip-offs on license plate lookups, home base coordination points, rapid escalation from observation to physical obstruction or worse. So let me tell you guys, they've got people that are embedded, multiple people embedded in the police departments, in the sheriff's departments, and I guarantee you the Minnesota National Guard has some sympathizers in their ranks. Okay? We also have people involved that work in all of the different hotel chains in Minneapolis. Why? Because where are the ICE officers staying? If they don't live in the area and they're there on assignment from somewhere else, they're staying at, if they can get them, if they can get a room, they're staying in hotels. Any place that they go to eat, it's automatically reported. They got people all the time on them. They work in the banks. So the banks are confirming account information, addresses, and things like that, phone numbers, because where do people usually keep all their personal information updated is in their bank accounts. All right, so going on, this isn't spontaneous outrage. This is C2, command and control, with redundancy, OPSEC hygiene, and task organization that would make a Special Forces team sergeant nod in recognition. Replace ICE agents with occupying coalition forces, and the structure maps almost one-to-one to early-stage urban cells we hunted in the mid-2000s. The most sobering part, it's domestic. Funded, trained somewhere, and directed by people who live in the same country that they're trying to paralyze law enforcement in. When your own citizens build and operate this level of parallel intelligence and rapid response network against federal officers, complete with doxing, vehicle pursuits, and harassment that's already turned lethal, you're no longer dealing with civil disobedience. What's this? You're facing a distributed resistance that's learned the lessons of successful insurgencies. Stay below the kinetic threshold most of the time, force overreaction when possible, maintain popular support through narrative, and never present a single center of gravity. I spent years training partner forces to dismantle exactly this kind of apparatus. Now pieces of it are standing up in American cities, enabled by elements of local government and civil society that should keep every thinking American awake at night. You know, I hate to say this, guys, but a lot of this has Green Beret earmarkings on it. Makes me wonder if we've actually got some former SF guys that are involved in helping these insurrectionists. But to me, and I don't know why I'm thinking that, but it just hit me that this has Green Beret written all over it. And I know that there are a couple of Green Berets and special operators, ex-operators out there that would probably agree with me about this. And I pray to God that any of those guys that I communicate with, I pray that they're not in on it. I'm kind of starting to live by the adage that I trust no one, because it's getting down to the point, at least I trust no one online. Alright, so history shows these things do not de-escalate on their own once the infrastructure exists and the cadre believe they're winning the information war. We either recognize what we're actually looking at, or we pretend it's still just activism until the structures harden and spread. Your call, America, but from where I sit, this isn't January 2026 politics anymore. It's phase one of something we spent decades trying to keep off our own soil. So, I agree with him 100%. Again, his name is Eric Schwalm, at Schwalm5132 on X. So, yeah, I agree. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, there's a lot more that I could talk about here, but I just don't want to be redundant and just be on here to be on here. And I do have to go to work at some point today, so I'm just looking to see if there was anything else up here that I can bring to your attention. Before I go, I'm just going to look at anything new. What is it? Yeah, here's another nurse out here saying that nurses are going to take poor care of people based on their political beliefs. Yeah. So there is... Well, breaking news, U.S. Border Patrol was just found to have a +3 approval rating in the middle of all this stuff. I got to see some of this. Attention all government public affairs officials. When your operations are savage, your message should be soft. When your actions are aggressive, your message should be heartfelt. When your actions are soft, your message should be aggressive. Stop confirming media narrative. Do not lose your job over ego and not being able to take sound advice. All right. Minnesota Fraud Squad. Yeah, Ilhan Omar has tried again this time to get me shut down on X. It didn't work this time. Okay. I gotta close with this. I gotta go. We're at the end, but I'm gonna go back to the beginning And I am going to let you guys,
Поки що.
you probably won't be able to understand it, but there are subtitles. So I will put it up full screen. There we go. Alright, now we just gotta tap back over and let it play.
Поки що білому
About a minute and a half
шпіцу
long.
Лукашенка залишено більше прав, ніж народу Білорусі. На жаль. Був шанс у 2020 році, щоб це змінити, і, я впевнений, буде ще шанс. Але тоді підтримки для Білорусі було просто недостатньо. А тепер ми усі відчуваємо, наскільки складніше, наскільки дорожче, наскільки небезпечніше стало для усіх через залежність Білорусі від Москви. Залежність, що не стає меншою. Оператори російських реактивних шахедів працюють по Україні, в тому числі з території Білорусі. Зв'язок для ударів підтримується з території Білорусі. Росія використовує Білорусь як полігон для шантажу Європи і світу арешниками. Промисловість Білорусі працює на російську війну, а торговельні зв'язки допомагають Путіну купувати компоненти, які потрібні, щоб будувати загрозу проти усіх нас в Європі. Саме тому для Європи важливо не втратити жоден з народів, які живуть свободою. Саме тому для Європи критично не втрачати час. Саме тому ми усі в Європі кожен день маємо працювати на сильну Європу.
So that's what we're up against. This guy is a big crybaby, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he just whines and cries and whines and cries. And I think the EU has pretty much had it with him. I'm just looking, the Rogue Rangers is an outcast of former and rogue desert rangers on the west coast. All right, so anyway, I'm telling you guys right now, with everything that President Trump has done and even what Putin has done to try to get a peace agreement, if Ukraine is, and I'm just going to say, if Zelensky is stupid enough to not sign this peace agreement, Trump is just going to tell Russia, go in and take it. Because what Zelensky is doing right now is he thinks that so many people died right now, and they're talking about all of their soldiers that died valiantly to protect against Russia, the invader. Russia wasn't the invader. Russia was actually going to be Ukraine's savior. Believe what you want, but I got people on the ground, okay, that are going through this. Anyway, like Molly said, please stay warm, and I will. I'm going to pull out my long pants today. And when I leave my house, my head's always on a swivel, people. Situational awareness. Be aware of your surroundings. Know what's going on around you. And with what's going on around the world today, especially right here in our country, you ought to be strapping, and if you're not, be with somebody who is. And you definitely need to be wearing the armor of God. Be prayed up. God bless every single one of you out there on the other side of the screen. I'll see you Wednesday morning. Have a great day.
page. Their words a trap, a scripted stage. Each line they write with practiced art to tear your truth and world apart. From hidden rooms where pens are laid, they craft each storm and false parade. The poison seeps through even news, while puppet masters light the fuse. Stand up, fight back, reclaim your side. Don't let them dim your inner light. Break every chain they've wrapped around. Your spirit won't stay underground. This war of minds, this battle cry will shake their towers from the sky. Old Edward's tricks still rule the trade. Each fear and wish precisely made. They sell you pain in pretty shows, while programming which way it flows. Your blood runs hot, your thoughts run cold. As stories break and ratings fold, they split the world in black and white, while freedom fades into the night. Stand up, fight back, reclaim your sight. Don't let them dim your inner light. Break every chain they've wrapped around. Your spirit won't stay underground. This war of minds, this battle cry will shake their towers from the sky. Every screen and printed sheet, the same old lies they still repeat. Them mockingbirds sing false refrains, while legions pull the mental chains. We dance their steps from sun to moon, or march into their twisted tune. But truth breaks through like morning rays when questions pierce their practiced haze. They drag each step and thought you make, each choice you think you freely take. But power shifts when eyes grow clear and manufactured lies appear. So drop the script upon the ground, let freedom's voice ring true and sound. Your story's yours to